Holy smokes, Montgomery Fisher.
Yes, sir.
Not from Texas.
No.
No.
Born in New York City, in Manhattan.
You're kidding.
100%.
In the borough?
My grandfather on my mother's side is from Hell's Kitchen. Straight up.
Well, that's unique.
Yes, because I wish we owned property there now.
Yo, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Bro.
But we don't. So, God bless.
Where do you own property?
Only here in Texas.
Here in Texas?
But I wish it was in Hell's Kitchen.
Right, dude.
Because then that would be like a lot more money.
There's your retirement account. For real.
So, no.
Dude, yeah, those brownstones over in Manhattan.
So my other uncle, who's a badass, he actually looks homeless. He looks like a gypsy. He's a real proper New York, born and bred. Bought the building in 1982 in Park Slope.
Nice spot, Brooklyn.
For $250K, when people were literally getting gunshot outside of his apartment in the 80s. Building's worth $6 million right now.
$6 million. $250K. $6 million.
But that's not the crazy Texas returns that I keep hearing out here. I heard about I won't name drop. That's the other thing I'm not going to do on this podcast is try not to name drop too much because let's just say a character I know who lives in the east side of Austin bought a parcel for 18 grand, maybe 40 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
That's for sale for $5 million right now.
What?
Yeah. And that dude
$18,000?
$18,000 for like a 5-acre plot.
Whoa.
And he's selling it right now, but it's going for $5 million.
For $5 million.
So that's a Texas return.
Dude.
Not as good as my uncle, but still not too bad.
Real estate, folks. Cue the music. Yes, you should invest in real estate because it's the number one tool used to build wealth here in the United States of America. Back to our show. So, a little bit more about your story, man. You know, you're born in Manhattan. And how long did you live there?
Lived in New York City till I was about 7 or 8 years old. Then spent a little bit of time in England. My dad is British.
Yeah.
That's not my fault.
No. I wasn't going to judge.
And spent a little bit of time with the grandparents at a young age.
Yeah.
From around 8, 9, then moved to Long Beach, California, which is where I grew up.
Yeah.
Really great place to grow up. Got a lot of love for Long Beach and a lot of my great friends. You know, shout out my OG LBC crew.
What's that stand for? Long Beach crew.
Original
LBC.
I mean, they OGs. I think it's just what they call it, original gangster. But I think it's more. I think now OG means more just like weathered or just kind of like even an old dude could be an OG. Just someone who's been around for a long time and
yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. My friend's dad just got called an OG, and he's not anywhere gangster.
So he's not a gangster at all, but he could be considered OG.
Totally.
There you go. So there's like a little fine line there.
It depends where you're from.
Exactly.
I think
certain OGs, proper, actual, real OGs, like a real OG is a retired gangster,
right?
Because that's
original.
Whereas I'm just relaying street knowledge that I've just picked up over the years. Don't quote me on any of this. If it's in Wikipedia or even Urban Dictionary, it could be real.
That's true. like the Colorado Cotton Ball.
Oh, no, I need to know what that is. I need to know what that is.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up on Urban Dictionary. Colorado Cotton Ball. Because I know that's going to be. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious, dude. Oh, okay. So, nice California for a long time. 9 years old-ish.
Yeah, from right around 9 years old.
Yeah.
To, I want to say 24, 25. So I moved to L.A., Los Angeles, to chase the big Hollywood dreams.
And you did.
I did. And it's not all, peaches and cream and glitter and stars and things like that. It's a lot of graft and dirt. And, especially shout out my PAs, personal assistant on film sets, the most unrecognized position. Without the PAs, shout out PA Nation, they are the foundation for a film set. Without PAs, nothing's getting done.
You're kidding.
No.
They wear all black?
Some of them do. They don't really, there's no dress code
Oh,
necessarily, but
all right.
yeah.
I was off.
No dress code, not that kind of PA. These are more just like set hires that drive the truck, change the trash cans, get the food, organize people, get the street cones, also checking, like holding traffic, physical, real people, like crossing the street. They're like, oh, we can't, make sure those people aren't in that shot. Brad Pitt, we're filming Brad Pitt right now, so don't let those people cross over.
Right.
So they'll go and hold the lockup, is what it's called, is they'll do a lockup, and then you got to hold everyone back. So they do a lot of the grunt work. So, and PAs get ripped apart. They'll do a 16-hour day.
Yeah.
And they're getting $150, $200.
No.
And they're busting their ass. They work harder than anyone else, but they're getting the least pay. So anyway, shout out my PAs, because I've known PAs that have started at the bottom and then became directors, and but they earned it. They worked their ass off.
Wow. So you're grateful for the PAs?
I'm grateful. Yeah, because a lot of people aren't. They treat them badly.
It's not nice.
No, it's not. And just depends. I won't veer off too much. Some celebrities are awesome.
Right.
They say thank you to everyone.
Right. Tom Cruise doesn't.
Does he not? I guess.
Well, I saw some videos of him
does?
going crazy.
Right.
Maybe it was just one bad day.
I can say I worked with Pink,
Yes.
the musician.
Right.
She says thank you to every single person. She'll also, if she's near you, she'll shake your hand. She'll say thank you for putting in that hard work today. She's cool.
She knows what's up.
Yeah, she's cool. Other artists, I can't speak on them. Can't say that they're the same.
Yeah. Like 50 Cent.
I heard good and bad things about 50. So I never worked with 50, so I can't say anything. I'm not going to say.
My friend was doing bottle service one time at a club.
Okay.
A rooftop club in Manhattan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they didn't have effing vodka, which is his.
Oh,
I think, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and he was a little upset about that. They didn't have it, and he tipped her $5 on like $120 check. $5. 50 Cent, if you're listening to this, let's tip people at least 18%.
At least.
No
18.
matter what.
This is the new standard. I think 15 is still kind of like.
That's maybe a little old school.
Yeah.
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 Let's do that.
Especially when you're making good dough. There's no excuse. 18 should be your standard if you're.
Yeah. Come on, 50.
In 50 cents tax bracket, right?
In his, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, getting back on track here. Yeah. Not all celebrities are cut from the same cloth. Your PAs are amazing, and they're underrated, underappreciated at times. And you work hand in hand with these people. What did you tell the audience here? What in the world you did in quote unquote Hollywood?
Well, I work in the camera department.
Yeah.
So I started in rentals. Well, actually, I originally started as a PA. So I was a PA, but I moved up to motorhome driver. And I was working on Kmart photo shoots, Target, big conglomerate, things of that nature. I even did some stuff for Pimp My Ride. I would show up. I am the motorhome for the celebrities. So I have to make sure it's clean and it's stocked up. The fridge is stocked up. Everything is good. The bathroom is clean. Everything's, for when they arrive, it has to be to their standard. I met Kate Beckinsale a long time ago when I was still a motorhome driver. It was awesome. And
she's top 3.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Yeah, she's top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm in the motorhome seat. I'm also have to be like, you're not allowed to talk to the celebrities, but if they talk to you, then you can talk to them. Right. So but you can't be the initiator.
No fanboys around here.
No fanboys. No, like that's a unwritten rule. And that's the other thing. There's a lot of unwritten rules in film industry, and especially called what we call it set etiquette.
Yeah. I picked up on that.
Yeah. So there just for you extra slow folks out there. No, just So
yeah,
there's an etiquette on set. Certain things you do and don't do that you can get fired for saying the wrong thing.
Who's firing? Who's firing people?
Producer. Producers are firing.
Wow.
Certain crew have pull.
Right.
You piss you're a PA and you piss the director off in some way or another.
Mm-hmm.
You're toasted. You're roasted. You're out of here. Yeah.
Cutthroat industry.
So as much as it's all like, yeah, it's Hollywood, it's all fun and games. No, it's not. It's
work.
Not. The margin for error is extremely small, especially in certain departments.
Yeah, high demand. A lot of people want to do it. A lot of appeal.
And when you work with certain PAs that are like gung ho, everything's on point. They're always there. Like the ice cooler is always filled to the top with all the LaCroix water, fresh to the top with the ice. Like they go the extra level. You know, those are the guys that are going to end up running their own production company because they put the effort in, they learn the ins and outs, and they stay the extra hour. You know, they put in that extra, and it goes a long way, and it's appreciated. Other PAs, and they show up with this like, what am I doing here today attitude, and like, why am I here? I could be playing Xbox. This sucks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're probably going to get fired at some point because you're just not paying attention and you don't care.
Okay. You're painting a great picture here about being on set. Now let's go a little back into the timeline of you. And let's talk a little about an example where you almost threw in the towel. You're like, Hollywood, what am I doing here? I'm going back home. Well, you almost gave it all up.
Where or when did I almost give it all up?
Yeah.
Probably before the pandemic.
Not that long ago?
No, because I was making some headway in another industry. I was doing something else. I was doing music. I like to tell people that filmmaking is my profession, but music is my passion. I'm passionate about music. It doesn't make me any money at all, but I play guitar. And I took a big risk. And I quit my job as a camera person.
Wow.
This is right before the pandemic.
The leap of faith.
To be like a DJ, dreams of like, I'm going to DJ shows.
Yeah, Diplo.
Yeah, Diplo. So yeah, I'm in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Right. Well, you can.
I can. And I did. I did.
Yeah.
So I quit and I got to a certain level in the career in doing music. So within 2 years, I managed to get into a scene in the UK, just called grime. It's like a UK hip hop, dubstep, electronic music.
Yeah.
And I started producing those beats. I was getting some headway. Things were kind of working out because it's in England. I would say it's a little easier to make a hit record because it's a smaller market. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So and the access to artists is, I don't know, because England is very compact, so you have a lot of access to people very easily. Anyway, I got my song on the radio in the UK.
What?
It wasn't a big hit necessarily.
How does it go?
Oh, I can't do it because it's like electronic. I would just sound like a fool. And I don't rap, so there's people rapping on the songs though.
All right. What's the name of it?
What song was that called? I'd have to go on my Spotify. I'm completely
busted.
Yeah, busted.
Did this really happen?
Yeah, no, it did. Trust me.
You pulling our leg?
No.
We're gonna fact check it. All right.
You can look up Viral Punk.
Viral
Punk, which is my old sort of moniker. Name.
Yeah.
The song was called Victory with a K. Victory with a K. And you can find that on Spotify. If you search Viral Punk /Victory with a K, that's the beat. That beat made it onto BBC radio. Now, I only got like little sprinkles of residual money. Sprinkles. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't the $1 million that I thought I was going to make off ad royalties.
Right.
But I have friends who do. I have friends that have sold, almost 1 million records in that genre. But the pandemic happened and that completely derailed that life.
Why?
It wasn't sustainable and I just had to kind of reality check myself.
Okay.
And get back to a place where I know I belong, which is in the film industry. It's what I've been doing my whole life. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my paying job
Gotta make that money.
And that's what I did.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm back. I just got into the Society of Camera Operators, which I was telling you about when I met you, which is sort of like the top end organization for camera operators in the movie and TV industry.
It's like SAG.
It's SAG.
No, SAG.
It's SAG.
Yes.
For camera operators.
Right.
You have to establish a 5-year resumes of a 5-year work history of professional jobs that you have to provide to them. You have to make a letter of intent and also have a sponsor of an existing member. So I was able to line all that up, use my credits, get all that up, all sorted, and boom, boom. As of this year, I'm officially Montgomery Fisher SOC, camera operator.
Whoa.
Thank you.
And who wants to call you to work together? Who are these people
Anyone
that are out
who's
there?
smart enough
Right?
to recognize to have a person on their film set with not just 20 years of experience, but also I'm a 3rd generation camera operator.
Yeah.
So I'm not just some person who just started out of nowhere.
Right.
And no offense to those people too. There's a lot of amazing, amazing, talented filmmakers and camera operators that I know and I work with that just started doing that and became that.
Yeah.
But never had any connections to the film industry whatsoever.
Huh. Well, that's fantastic. And you've got a family member 3 generations ago that's somewhat iconic.
Somewhat, yes. My grandfather in the world of cinematography is very well respected. His name's Jerry Fisher.
Yeah.
And he shot over like 65 feature films. Highlander was his sort of most
it's a great one.
Notable film.
Oh, yeah, I watched it with my dad growing up.
Oh, yeah. I love that movie. I mean, not just because my granddad worked on it, but
it's a good movie.
It helped. It is cool. Yeah.
So let's get down to some juice here, shall we? Because not everybody has had that experience of being on set in the scene in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
It's got a lot of allure to it. There's always so much film and literature on that culture. I'm going to say one word, and I'm going to ask you to tell us the first story that comes to mind when I say that one word. Ready? Crazy.
Hard to pinpoint one thing.
I bet.
Because the industry itself is crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Then you've also got crazy individuals.
Yes.
So
maybe an interaction with one of those crazy individuals, or maybe a story that you or someone associated with.
I'm trying not to name drop too much, but I'm only just going off of information that I have. And I think it's okay to say Michael Bay is known to be crazy. I've never worked with him, but I can tell you right now from people that I know that have worked with him, being on a Michael Bay film set is sort of like watching a flock of birds fly in a group, and they fly all over. Yeah, because the birds can be sat still, but as soon as Michael Bay shows up, wherever he goes, it's like a freaking swarm of people that are following him around, and then they have to do whatever he says. And it can be really nerve-wracking because he obviously knows exactly what he wants, which is a very key factor of a filmmaker. That's one piece of advice I can give to any filmmaker. Knowing what you want is the most important thing. Let the professionals figure out how it can be done technically. It's not your job as a creative.
No.
Your job is to go, I want to do a camera that comes through the roof, through the vents, goes down, out, and then back through the door. Great. Cool.
Yeah.
It's not your job to figure out how we do that. It's actually the cinematographer's job and the other department heads, grip, lighting, special effects. How are we going to pull this off? And then they all make a sort of team effort to decide. Some directors are more technical than others. James Cameron, extremely technical.
Right. I believe it.
Michael Bay, also techie. But again, I've heard stories where there will be a disagreement between Michael Bay and another department head. And the other guy will go, okay, I'm done. I quit. And then he'll bring all the equipment and just leave.
No. Dude. Emotion.
So,
Well, you know what it is? Let's say you're building a house, right? You got the general contractor, the guy that runs the show. You got your plumber. You got your roofer, so on and so forth. All of a sudden, your roofer's ticked off. Bye.
same thing. Same thing.
Oh, my God.
Same thing. And yeah.
But it's a bigger, more tricky, intricate deal, I think.
Big money on the table.
Right.
But I guess it doesn't matter even if it's a $2 million house or a $200 million budget.
Right.
You're losing time and you're losing stuff somewhere. So crazy.
About the party scene.
In Hollywood?
Sure. Let's say you worked a hard day on set, and then maybe the actor's like, you know what, guys, let's go hang out and do something a little wild or something. I don't know. I'm making this stuff up. Is that a thing? I don't even know. Or is it boring after work? I don't know.
Some people are very, I would just call, well, okay, from my perspective,
sure.
You've got two different professionals.
Hmm.
You've got this type of professional, who is not going to go out and have drinks at the end of the working day because they've got lines to practice or whatever, and they're going to go straight from set to their hotel room. They're not going to get any of the riffraff.
Interesting.
And they're going to stay super focused.
Yeah.
And they're like that.
Leonardo DiCaprio's like that.
I think I would assume so, yes, because
he's a method actor.
He does like to party though too.
Really?
I don't know him. I've never worked with him.
Okay.
But I
took a shot in the dark at that one.
Never worked with him.
Okay.
And then you've got your other professional who can probably have a few drinks at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to stay up till 3 a.m. as well. Mm-hmm. But this is the kind of person who can also go to bed at 3, wake up at 6, and still go to work the next day and fully do their job just fine. So there's a fine line.
Yeah.
So I don't want to call them partiers. Let's just call them seasoned.
Seasoned.
Right? They're not going to go have 7 beers at the end of a shoot, but they might have 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And they'll stay up a little later than normal, and then they'll go back in the morning and they'll do their job, and they're cutting the gig. So who's going to tell them they can't do that?
They're cutting the gig.
They're cutting the gig.
That's jargon. That's industry jargon.
Oh, yeah.
Cutting the gig. I've never heard that one.
If you can cut the gig, then why am I mad at you because you stayed up all night and had beers?
Right.
You did your job.
Right.
That's all the producer cares about. He doesn't care what you do off the clock as long as you're back here doing your job, not subpar, sweating, like hungover, because that happens too.
Sure.
Then there's the other side of the unresponsible drinker type that shows up.
Which is, you're going to get it.
It happens. Then they show up, they're sweating bullets, they're pale. They're just like, everything they do is half-assed. So, yeah, for me, do I like those people? No. Am I going to say that one department does that more than others? Yeah. But a lot of the times, those guys, they cut the gig and they bust their ass, they do their job, and they can handle it. And that's their lifestyle that they're accustomed to. So it's not,
just another day at the office.
It's another day for them. It's not going to slow them down. But then there's also directors who might have a specific addiction to a certain substance.
Happens.
All the time. But then...
Unexpected. I didn't expect that.
Again, some of these directors might be fully able to function totally normal under that circumstance.
Yep.
And I mean, in filmmaking in the 80s, cocaine was readily available in the film industry pretty much everywhere.
That is something that is so, like baseball, it's steroids. Film industry in the 80s, it was cocaine.
Yeah. Same thing. There you go. Perfect example.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. You're not going to see a professional baseball coach high at a game. You're not. It's not a thing. If it is, probably 1 in a million. Yeah. Something about the industry.
So, listen, I'm not here to point fingers.
Well, thank goodness, because if you were, you'd kicked out.
I would never be working in this town again. But let's just say certain people
Yeah.
can function and remain, I guess you could call them an addict, so to speak.
Yeah.
But they're doing their job and they get paid a lot of money, and they're not fucking their job up. So they're like, why does anyone care what they're doing?
Okay. So California, there's a point in your time, there's a pivotal moment in your life where you said, you know what? I'm over it. I'm out of here. I'm going to Bastrop, Texas. And what was the driving
Well,
force?
I originally wanted to move to Austin.
Okay.
Well,
And when was it? When was it? What year was it?
so the first time I knew I wanted to move to Texas was 2015. When I went to Houston. I know, random.
Houston's cool.
Yeah, I like it. So I went there and have a lot of friends in the art car community. Shout out my art car friends.
What was that?
If you look up Houston Art Car Parade, that's the biggest gathering of artistic vehicles in all of America. So, and you're talking full custom cars from, here's a great example. I know a guy who drives a shopping cart car.
Yeah.
The shopping cart's bigger than this room. So it's a full on fabricated shopping cart that has a Chevy 350 V8 motor planted on the bottom of it. And he drives it down the road.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
How fun.
I know another guy who's got a chicken car. Shout out Smitty. Smitty's got he hates it when people say the chicken car because it's actually called Henatron. Sorry, Smitty. Henatron.
Yeah.
Hates the people say chicken car.
I won't call it that. Don't call it that.
But he's fabricated it out of rebarb. So he took I think it's a Nissan. Sorry to give out your secrets. It's an old Nissan. He chopped the top off, rebarbed the whole frame of the chicken. And he's also got a chain that he pulls. So he's driving, he can pull the chain and it goes,
no.
And it's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You see
Art.
Yeah. So you see a chicken drive down the road.
What color's the chicken?
It's like brown. I could pull you a picture. I'll pull up a picture.
It's not yellow.
For you.
Thank goodness.
No,
so it looks like a real chicken.
Yeah, it's kind of rusty. It looks like a real Texas chicken.
Right. Yeah, Texas chickens are more rusty colored. Dude, that's cool. Art cars. Okay, so you went to the thing.
I got into art cars.
Yeah.
I used to have an art car myself. It was a Crown Victoria. It was all painted green and weird, and it had purple zebra interior. I got rid of that car. It was a real party car, but anyway. I sold it during the pandemic. Well, that was also a mistake. But anyway, art car is fantastic. If anyone lives in the Houston area and you don't know what Houston Art Car Parade is, just go. It'll happen in April.
They're going to.
It's going to be phenomenal. It's when my friends make a joke, it's not fun at all. You're going to have no fun. Because
it's top of the charts.
It's the top. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No kidding. Thanks for teaching us about that. I had not.
Of course. It's super fun. Also, art car people themselves are the strangest people in the world, but they're also some of the most remarkable and brilliant and smart people that I know.
That is cool, man. This is
That's the skull car. Yeah.
Art car.
Yeah, that drives down the parkway, the main parkway. That car will just drive down the street in Houston. That's what I love about Houston.
Yeah.
As well, is because
sick.
They're so into the art.
Yeah.
And they care. And how you could legally drive this is a registered vehicle.
Yeah.
So all these art cars down in Houston, they're registered cars, and they let them drive them.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That's yeah. What a different world. I've never heard of an art car. So you went out there and you said Texas is for me.
Yeah, I went out there. I saw the art cars. I saw the freedom, I guess, or just like the creative expression, how fun it was too. It just felt real fun and vibrant and just a different energy.
Oh, well, shoot, especially compared to the Hollywood culture.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure it was a little bit more warm and welcoming.
Much.
At least that was my experience as soon as I got to the South. I said, wow, what is this? This is nice.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
It's, love all my art car friends, and they're all over. There's art car is a global thing, but it's also a very much an America thing. So it's there's art cars spread all around the other festivals in Colorado. But I see the best one is Houston, is by far the best. There's
a lot of people.
Yeah, I think there was 400 cars last year.
Holy
So
smokes!
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they're all different.
Yeah.
They're all different. Some of them are cheesy. Not gonna. Art is art. Art is subjective, right?
Yeah,
But if you glue a bunch of baby doll heads to your hood, I'm kind of like, I don't know about that.
cheap,
Not
cheesy,
feeling that. But I've seen other cars.
creepy.
Like I know a guy who has a stained glass Volkswagen Bug,
Stop, dude.
completely stained
Glass?
The whole car
Yeah.
is stained glass.
Now that's a cool idea.
See, now that's amazing.
Oh, see-through car. Right?
They have
Ish?
those. Well, there's
Kind of.
another guy who has a see-through one, but he's got a metal one,
Yeah.
Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
But whatever tool he used to create like that paisley sort of,
No.
the whole car is see-through because he carved the whole thing out.
Yes. Now that almost kind of like a laser engraver.
Laser engraved,
or whatever.
but completely
Yeah.
taking it through the body panels.
That's
so
sick.
it's amazing. I'll try to find that one for you too.
How does that not rust out? Yeah, he had to.
If they do rust, it adds to the patina of the car. It just
Right.
makes it look cooler.
Okay. So, 2015, you came here for a nice trip. And then when did you actually take the plunge and get on that plane?
It was during the pandemic.
So recently?
Yeah, annoyingly, it was.
No.
Yeah,
What is this?
that's the bug with the.
Dude, this is sick.
Yeah,
It looks like a wedding dress.
I know.
But metal. This is amazing.
And that's what's cool about art car too. They're very. Let's say Gregory Carlson wants to make an art car,
yeah.
and whatever your idea is,
Yeah.
it can be anything you want.
Mhm.
Dragon car, could be a life size
Shoe.
shoe. I think there is one shoe car.
Probably.
It could be a shoe car.
Yeah.
They will accept you with open arms. It doesn't matter what you drive.
Oh.
They'll be like, "We got a shoe car." Yeah,
Oh.
they'll love it.
Okay. So it's a nice, welcoming culture.
Very welcoming
Fun.
culture. Fun, super fun, welcoming.
It's like the opposite of a biker gang.
Complete opposite of the biker gang. I think my mom was happier that I went into art cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then so pandemic hits. You said, I'm out of here, Hollywood. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, the pandemic was sort of the
Yeah.
kick in the butt I needed
Mm-hmm.
to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm out of here.
And what had you land specifically? Because you got options in Texas. It's huge.
I know. I was looking primarily in Austin because I had a good feeling about it.
Got it.
I just knew that a lot of
Yeah.
if filmmakers were going to flock to Texas
Yes. This
because
is the
of
place.
South by Southwest and also the Austin Film Festival and the Austin Film Commission,
Yeah.
I'm thinking Austin's probably going to be the best place to be for future film development.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and we've got in your town specifically, there's going to be that 550 plus acre professional
Yes.
movie recording complex. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you could call it a studio.
It's a studio.
Yeah, because I would compare it to Universal Studios, also in size and in stature. That makes sense.
Interesting.
Because Universal Studios has a city walk,
Yep.
so they have shops, restaurants.
For the tourists.
That will also be there.
No.
Yes, so it's going to implement
Dude, what?
Yeah, so it's going to implement this sort of like a Hollywood type of
Yeah.
setup. Yeah.
Okay. For those that don't know, Bastrop is the town we're talking about. Bastrop. It's on the outskirts of Austin. And 5 years ago, it wasn't necessarily a household name.
Yeah.
It is now a little bit because of the housing market there is booming. It's beautiful, right outside of town, close to the Tesla Gigafactory, so on and so forth. Now, add that puppy.
Yeah.
Game changer, 100%.
Huge.
Explosive.
I also went, I was on Zoom, but I went to the Austin Entertainment Business meeting, which is hosted by Jennifer Hutchins.
Mm.
And like 5 of the producers that were there were all from LA.
You're kidding me.
No.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
Wow, dude.
And they're like, I just bought a
Yeah.
house. And they're like, I bought property here.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I didn't get to meet him.
I know. Well, we should go to
I gotta
that
help
next
him.
time. We'll go.
Yeah. Oh.
It's down at Native Hostel.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the name of the event?
AEB. Austin Entertainment Business.
Us Entertainment Business.
Yeah.
How often do they host that?
They're probably done for the year.
Yeah.
So they were, I want to say, every second Tuesday, I think. I'll send you the email.
I will 100,000% go to that.
We should definitely go.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cool people there.
All right. And I'm curious because you were wrapped up in the film scene out there. You were a crucial part towards making these blockbuster films. And has it ever got to a point to where the lifestyle has crushed you? Have you ever gotten compounded by that environment to where you were like, what am I doing? Why did I choose this? Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
I mean, there's definitely been days where the pressure feels like you just can't withstand it anymore. It's a lot of hours. Also, I've been on jobs where things happen where they're out of your control, but they still fall on your responsibility, technically.
Mm.
I've had a nightmare scenario happen where, and this is the nightmare scenario for any filmmaker, especially when you're using a digital. We rely everything on cards.
Your memory card got jacked up.
Even on big jobs, this happens.
Yeah.
And even on high, it's still a part that can break. It's not, nothing's fail safe.
And they're plastic.
They're plastic. You know how much these things cost too? The really expensive ones that we use for those cameras?
How much?
They're $1,000 a piece.
Interesting.
Because they're like 1 terabyte cards or 500 gigs. But yeah, they can go anywhere to like $1,500.
For the micro SD? Not the micro, but the regular one.
It's higher up than that. They're called CFast Express.
Okay.
So it's a new CFast. It's one step above an SD card. They do have those SD cards as well.
Mm.
Like Sony makes one. It's called a Hyper Tough.
Mm.
It's an SD card, but it's a different, newer, faster.
Does it look
SD.
the same?
It looks exactly the same, but it has new internals that makes it more expensive and faster. And
got
things
it.
Of that nature.
Even the CFast though.
Yeah.
That looks the same.
The CFast is a little bit bigger. It's like a little bit bigger square.
Got it. So like a red camera is going to hold the CFast.
Yes, and there's different types of those. There's a few different types of the
regardless,
CFast
so they're
cards.
they're pro quality and they're like $1,000.
Super expensive.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm on a job. We're doing, I forgot what it was, but we had a big celebrity there. We had 3 cameras, and one of them just farted out. That's what a term I like to say. It just took a shit.
Dude.
Card corrupt on the freaking screen.
For how long?
So we have another system. Obviously, it's never foolproof. We send it off. There's a company called Drive Savers.
Yeah.
That's also another $2,000 for them to pull the footage off.
Mm.
In this particular case, they were not able to pull the footage off. So that company, now super pissed off. They never hired us again. I mean,
dude, they gotta have some grace. It's out of your control.
It sucks when those things are out of our control. But then again, they still have to. Someone's got to take the blame.
Dude,
so
it's whack.
Right.
So because if they still work with you, then somebody else is going to say, "What are you doing hiring those guys again?"
Exactly.
And it's like this politic thing.
Exactly.
Dang.
Yeah. So you can get burned.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily your fault because you're at the mercy of the equipment, which is why I always say, don't buy the cheap cards. Spend the extra $50 because then you're not going to have to send it off to Drive Savers and spend $2,000, and hopefully they can get your footage off of there. Because there's no guarantee that they can get the footage. So you had to claim an insurance day. So the producer has to now claim insurance, which they hate doing.
Why?
Because they lost the footage.
All right.
So now there's no job. There's no more footage. So now they can't cut.
Dude.
So the thing is just screwed.
Yeah.
So they have to claim insurance and then do it again.
Mm.
And that's what you call a reshoot. And that's the worst. Those are the 2 words you never want to hear.
It's
reshoot.
Dude. Yeah. Growing up, my dad would say the word rework. Like, let's say you put something together wrong and you got to take it apart and do it again. It sucks, man. It sucks. Anything. Dude, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Dang.
Yeah. And that happens on small jobs.
Yeah.
And it happens on the big jobs. So no one is safe.
That's wackadocious, man.
No one is safe.
Well, shoot. Freaking memory card. Plastic memory card.
Buy the good ones.
Yeah. They should make them metal. I don't know what to tell you.
Titanium.
They should change something. There's got to be an answer.
There's always some.
Okay. And then these celebrities, right? Because, you're seeing them all the time and all this stuff like that. If we're, I think this is just a personal curiosity question. Any of them ever say, hey, you, what are you doing over there? Why don't we go hang out? Anything?
Yeah.
No wrong answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's people.
Yeah. Sometimes they will break the wall for you.
Yeah.
Because even as a camera operator, camera professional, camera department, depends what department you're in. Like I said, you don't really talk to them unless it's in regards to the scene or the shot or,
strictly business.
Yeah, business. If they open that door, it's nice. And yeah, it can, I don't want to say anyone's been like, yeah, let's hang out. I mean, they have a lot of friends most of the time anyway.
They're busy.
Yeah. But no, there's been nice to have little chit chats. And who came up to me actually? T.I. T.I., the rapper. We were doing a job for him, and he's awesome, man.
Nice guy.
Yeah. At one point in time, he came up to me and he's like, what do you think about this? Like, what would you want to do? And I'm like, oh, wow. At first, he caught me off guard because I didn't even think he was going to ask me that.
Right.
So I wasn't even ready for that, to answer that question. Because I was already like, oh, whoa.
It's rare.
Put me on yeah, that is a little bit rare. Because normally that question would go to the director or someone above me. But this was a job that was a little bit like, there was a lot of things going on. So he was, I guess, looking for support in other areas.
Smart.
And I said, well, I would maybe just do this. And whatever it was like a woman walking through a hallway and just, they didn't like how it looked. And I just said, well, maybe just have her come through this way and then move that. And blah, blah, blah. So it's nice when they want to make you feel more involved. And I'm trying to think of other possible celebrities that just like little chit chat. Eric Roberts, I think I told you about him, Julia Roberts' brother.
Right.
He's funny. I mean, he's so nice. I mean, he's pleasure to work with, and it'll be like little talking. Like if, let's say I'm talking to my friend about boats or something, and some kind of boat, he'll jump in, be like, oh, what kind of boat you guys talking about? Or this or that, or is it a fishing boat, or is it a speedboat, or whatever? And it's nice to have that little involvement. So there's been little convos of that nature where
That's nice.
They'll sort of jump in or they'll ask like, oh, what's those shoes, or things like that. What,
Yeah, because I'm sure that they feel like they're at work too or whatever. And,
yeah, they don't want to
this kind of pressure thing
Exactly.
happening. And they probably want to make friends. It's like they got to ride that delicate line, just like you guys have.
Exactly. So it's nice. I don't want to say they completely let their guard down. It's just more of like let's make this comfortable, not all work. That's the other thing I will say about film set is it's great to be super like on point.
Totally.
When you're dealing with certain scenarios, like I'll admit we have fun. Everyone, why would we do this if we didn't have fun, right? You could go on to any film set anywhere in the world. At some point in time, everyone's going to be laughing and having a good time, making a joke or something. It's like you can't always be 100% like because you're just going to drive yourself insane.
Oh, and plus you see those bloopers, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Even
those
in serious
great.
movies, they probably have.
Oh,
them.
exactly. Yeah, I love those. Bloopers are the best. So
yeah,
that's a great example of
okay.
Sort of like letting the pressure off a little bit. It's like, because I've been on jobs where, you could hear a pin drop and everyone will just be like, "Argh!"
Unnecessary.
When you're dealing with stunts,
yeah,
anything that has potential to injure someone,
fire,
pyro, animals. I've been on sets with tigers,
dude,
lions, wolves,
Bro.
bears, elephants.
Nope.
Snakes. There's etiquette. Like, yeah, you're being like, there's no joking or having a little laugh when you've got the lion 20 feet away, a real lion.
Dude, I've seen too many videos.
And all they have is a little fence that's only 3 feet high, electric fence. But that's it. It's just like 2 cables, and I'm here with the camera, and the lion's right there.
Dude, that electric fence will probably just aggravate.
He'll just
that lion,
jump
dude.
over it.
Yeah, if it even touches him.
And it'll aggravate him, and he'll just go buck wild.
Totally.
So you never know. In those scenarios, yeah, you're dealing with animals, pyro, someone's life's in danger. You're doing a car flip shot.
Yeah.
No, there is no joking around. Like if someone says any kind of joke, you're probably going to get fired. Any kind of joke that's like not funny, you know, like there's that fine line where it's like,
I get it. Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah. Like you got to read the room.
You got to read the room.
And if you don't do it properly in a certain situation, it's like,
you're screwed.
Yeah. We don't got time for this, Buster.
No. Other times, if everyone's having a good time, like you said, Will Ferrell, little bloopers, things like that. Yeah, everyone's having a laugh. It's fun. Great.
Yeah. Don't make jokes when there's a lion in the room.
No.
That aren't funny.
No. Like a joke would be like, oh, do you think the lion would eat Peter because he's vegan? That would be like a set joke. Example.
That's kind of funny.
Right?
Okay, so I can laugh at that. Okay, that's funny. Right.
You wouldn't want to say that in front of the producer.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's funny, dude.
So,
yeah.
But would the lion eat Peter because he's vegan?
Yeah.
Or does he taste too much like broccoli and parsnips?
The other one I'd rather eat somebody else.
Or is he going to eat Bob, who's been eating barbecue, Terry Blacks every day?
Yeah.
He's probably going to eat Bob.
Or antelope. Gazelles. That's hilarious, dude. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, let me ask you this. So you're an independent contractor.
Pretty much.
I take it.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For most of your jobs, if not all of them. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Unless I'm on a show that's union, then you're tied to the
union.
Yeah. And I am in the union. I'm local 600. So, yeah, if you're on a show that's tied to a union, you're W-2, you're sort of like that realm. It's not so much independent contractor.
Okay. That makes sense. And let's say somebody's like, hey, I need somebody to do A, B, and C type of work, right? What kind of work would you say that you're looking for right now? Somebody that is your ideal client, things like that.
Sure. I really consider myself a asset to the production as a camera operator, whether that would be B camera, possibly A camera. It depends on the okay, so a lot of cinematographers like to operate the camera. It's a little more old school, but it still happens where cinematographers don't want to be anywhere near the camera. They just want to watch the monitor, and then they rely on their operator that they trust, who will frame everything up, set everything up, get it to how they like it. That's a more old school traditional way. It still happens. Otherwise, I would say as a camera operator is where I really is my strongest suit. So anyone who is looking for a new camera operator, whether that be on Walker, Texas Ranger, or on Walking Dead, or any of the other 1883, any of these other local productions those are all filmed here.
The quick question is, Walker, Texas Ranger still being filmed?
The new one. It's just called Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was filmed here in Austin.
Got it. That's cool.
I know. So what was it? Can you remind me the question again?
Yeah. Who do you want to reach out to?
Other cinematographers that are looking for new operators that they can trust and rely on, and want to either ease some of their responsibility, and pass some down to me. Let me take some of the weight. I can carry it. I can take it. Directors that are looking for new DP talent as well. I mean, I'm not just a camera operator by trade. I would say I am also a cinematographer, but I'm mostly focused on camera operating, and that's because that's just where I want to put my focus. It's like a martial artist. If anyone can study, like an MMA guy, they do 10 styles, and yeah, they're good. Like Conor McGregor and some of these Anderson Silva, a lot of these.
They do the Muay Thai, the boxing,
they mix.
the jiu-jitsu. They all do it all.
There's nothing wrong with mixing. I think it's awesome. I think everyone should do a little bit of that.
If it has the word mix in front of it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But you're not looking for the
I
mix.
want to be a pure guy.
Yeah.
Meaning like I want to just be known camera operator, SOC. I fall more in the category of handheld, dolly, studio mode, crane. I'm not Steadicam. So that is a separate person.
Mm.
I probably could have done that, but
That's the person with the big old gimbal that attaches your body.
attached to the chest rig, all that stuff. Now that's a dedicated person. Most of the time, people that do Steadicam, that's all they do.
Interesting.
So similar for myself, I'm not a Steadicam operator. I'm what you call studio operator or handheld or crane and or dolly. So studio and dolly kind of fall in the same mode. But I'm not so much. I can do gimbal, but I'm not a gimbal operator, if that makes sense. I'm more of a traditional film style operator. So yeah, who would want to hire me? Producers that are looking for new camera talent, directors, producers, cinematographers in Austin. How you doing? These are the main people that hire crew. Directors usually pick their DPs. DPs meaning director of photography, cinematographer.
I was curious what that meant.
Same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people will just say DP or DOP, director of photography, and cinematographer is the same. Director hires the cinematographer. The cinematographer then hires the remaining crew. Cinematographer is in charge of the 3 departments: grip, lighting, and camera. They are the head of those 3 departments. Now, in my department, I'm camera operator, so I'm the department head of the camera department.
Yes.
Then those other departments, your key grip, I'm sure you've heard that term, key grip. That's the department head for grip. And then your gaffer, I'm sure you've heard someone say that before.
No.
A gaffer is your key department head of the electric department, who's in charge of the lights.
Oh.
In each department, traditionally, you would have 2 people under you. So each department, as an operator, I have 2 assistants below me. The key grip has 2 assistants below them. And then the gaffer also has 2 assistants below them.
Makes sense.
Yes. So that department is comprised of 9 to 10 people collectively. And that's what the cinematographer is in charge of them
putting together.
Yes. So when the director says, I want to do a shot that goes through the hallway with the dolly, and then we can unclick the gimbal to go continue through or something they want to create. Most of the time you would do a crane. Let's change the example. Crane shot, top of the building, comes down, but we want to go in the window.
Whoa.
So they're going to cut a window out. Crane's going to come down through the window. There's going to be 2 guys on each side with a special detachment rig, I forgot the term, pardon me, because it's like so much to keep track of. They're basically a quick release. Yeah. That can just be unhinged, pop, click, 2 guys then take the gimbal and then continue the move. Those all have to be choreographed and all that stuff.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that is an example of a connection between, well, it's through everyone again, but mostly with camera and grip, because grip are the guys in charge of the rigging and et cetera, and how to make that quick release. Great example. If you watch any behind the scenes of 1917, I think.
Is that a show?
No, the movie. The war movie.
Yes.
It's not that long ago, but they did tons of that where they were on a crane that was unhooked, and then they rode the gimbal, and then the gimbal got clicked into something else and then went somewhere else on like a little car or something like that. So that's all.
That's sick.
That's a harmonious
collaboration of the 3 different departments.
Exactly. And when you're doing these like really crazy techie things without the departments working together, it doesn't work. It's impossible.
That is fired up. So you got to have synchronicity amongst those other different departments.
Absolutely. And and believe me, when the tension is on set and there isn't synchronicity and there's egos, and heads are starting to butt, it can get real ugly real fast.
attention.
Bad.
So how do these people reach out to you, right? They hear your story and they know that they want somebody professional that's at the top of their game. How do they find you?
I'm very easy to find. My website, rollonthis.pro. My company is Roll On This Productions. So I figured
Your company?
Yes, I have a small production company. It's registered with the Chamber of Commerce in Bastrop County right now.
Yeah.
Just because that's where I live.
Wonderful people.
They're very nice. I love it. And
That
I love
was
the mayor.
fun.
The mayor, Connie's awesome. And Roll On This Productions. So rollonthis.pro is my website. And also Roll On This is my Instagram. That will take you to my reel, my cinematographer's reel, and DP reel, my credits and whatnot.
So my last question. So we want to get people connected with you, right? So I think we've accomplished that because you are, in fact, easy to get a hold of, right?
I'm very easy to get a hold of.
Yeah.
All I would say is I'm a third-generation filmmaker, born and bred from the old school cloth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make guys like me anymore. I'm very easy to work with. I work with tons of different types of teams. I've traveled the world. I've done productions in North Africa, Paris, most of all of America, England. Where else? It's hard. Mexico. Anyway, so
Canada.
I've never been to Canada.
Not yet.
Lots of productions are in Canada. I've never been. I would love to go.
Mm.
But I would say anyone who really wants to stand out artistically, I would say my strengths are in my artistic vision, my blend of creativity and technical is where I believe are my strengths. Because if you have too much of one and not enough of the other, it's like having a really, really fancy race car, but you've never actually driven around the racetrack, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like I could give you the best car, but does that mean are you going to do the same lap time as Nigel Mansell or who so-and-so at the Coda track? If I give you what's his name's car, you're going to match the numbers?
Hamilton.
You're going to do a Lewis Hamilton lap in the Hamilton car? So just because you have the tools doesn't always mean you can use them. So a lot of filmmaking, that's why there's so many bad movies, to be honest, is because there's no shortage of good equipment around. There's just a shortage of good ideas. So
that's where you come in.
And good crew and good production. People that have been doing this for years and years and years. Again, I am primarily a camera operator / cinematographer. I can provide you with your artistic. It's my job to create artistic vision from the technical. That's what a cinematographer's job really is. You're the director. You just tell me what you want, and it's my job to now decipher technically how to make it work.
And let's say this. It's 100 years from now. 200 years from now. People look you up. They see your biography. What's one message, if not the one message, that you'd like to leave with these people that hear about your story?
I'm going to leave you with a quote, and I thought about this. I'm going to leave you with a quote from my grandfather, actually, who said this very quote to Rob Hardy, who is a very well-known cinematographer. He's a personal friend of mine, and I really like Rob a lot. Rob shot Mission Impossible 8, Tom Cruise.
Wow.
He also did Ex Machina.
Great movie. And
his newest film, which is very strange, it's called Men. If you're into horror and really weird stuff, watch it. If you're not into weird horror and weird movie, don't watch it, because this movie will mess you up. And definitely make sure there's no kids in the room when this movie's on, okay? Just full disclosure. Yeah. Let's just say there's a scene where a guy gives birth to himself 10 times in a row.
Dude.
It's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. It's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life.
You've seen it?
I watched the movie, yeah.
So a baby
He's a man that he gives birth to himself. I can't.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Sorry, but it's the worst.
Makes you want to watch it.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it now because it's so messed up. So anyway, shout out Rob Hardy. Rob Hardy started his film career with my grandfather, and I only found out about this through the Roger Deakins podcast. Anyway, my grandfather said to Rob Hardy, and I'm going to leave this with all of you. Follow your creative endeavors or forever face eternal unemployment.
Wow. Thanks, Grandpa. Okay. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, folks.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
If you're not fired up after this one, I don't know what it's going to take, guys. Montgomery. You got a nickname?
My friends call me Monty.
Monty.
Monte.
Monty Fisher.
But living in Texas, I really like the Montgomery.
Montgomery.
And they say Montgomery. They say it with gumption.
Montgomery.
Yeah, it's Gummery. It's like it feels like this is where I belong.
That's right.
Yeah, Montgomery. I meet Texans and they're like, "Oh, Montgomery."
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, all right, Montgomery," and they're like super pumped up.
It's like Alabama. That's right.
So,
dude.
But yeah, Montgomery Fisher SOC. Shout out me. Rollonthis.pro. My email media@rollonthis.pro. Very easy to get a hold of me.
Till next time, folks. Greg Carlson, Pivotal Moments Podcast. Stay frosty, Austin.